and I'm so glad. Oh, I didn't push start, did I? Look at that. Good morning, everyone. It is a new week. I'm coming to you in the morning here. I still have my coffee. It's been a rough night. We have a sick 1-year-old, and so we've been up all night doing steam baths and all the things. So you also might hear my other kiddos are here having breakfast with me because it's morning time. Okay, today, the reason I'm here in the morning is because I'm gonna do a Crockpot roast. This is our last Crockpot roast of the season, other than 2 rib roasts, and I didn't like how it came out in the Crockpot as much as I had hoped last time I made it. It filled bellies, it was okay, but I think I would like to try my hand at doing them up a little bit fancier next time. So this is, all that being said, this is our last roasty roast of this half cow and of this winter, which is fitting. Next week, we're getting warmer weather. I think maybe it's the start of spring, hopefully. Okay, so today, the way I'm gonna do this roast is I'm gonna use beef broth. This is home canned. And I like this because it's not very beefy. I've done beef broth twice, and once it was very, very beefy. Like, I don't know if you've ever had completely grass-fed, grass-finished beef, but it has a very distinct taste. And last time I made broth, that's what I got. This time, it's a little bit more vegetable-y. It's actually very pleasant. If I had to pick one of my broths to drink straight, right now, this is my favorite. And then I'm gonna do a can of cream of mushroom soup. I picked this up from Azure. I don't know if you can see. I'm still getting used to how this works. The ingredients are so clean. Let's see, where are they? It just has water, mushrooms, cream, cornstarch, rice flour, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and it's organic. So this is a fantastic product, but it's hard to find in grocery stores. So I get this from Azure Standard in a case of 12. If you want to check out Azure Standard, I do have a link down below. You can order straight from the site, or you can go through my affiliate code. It doesn't make a difference for you, it just makes a difference for me, but that's your choice. And then the recipe usually calls for a Lipton onion soup packet, but of course, as with most convenience foods, that has quite a bit of junk in it. And so I make my own. So let's see, where is my, oh, I need to grab it still. Here we go. So I just use my onion flakes, and then I add in some onion powder, garlic powder, just a tad bit of celery seed. This is pretty potent, so don't go hard on this. Paprika, parsley. Anyway, I'll write it down in the description box what I end up doing. I'm not following a recipe for this. I'm just kind of winging it. Let's get it all mixed up and get it going because the recipe said 8 to 10 hours. I don't get up early enough for these things. So my baby is still asleep. My 1-year-old. I can't believe he's 1. He's not actually a baby, I guess, anymore, guys. He's a toddler. He's still asleep. Normally by this time of day, if he's still asleep, it sort of messes up the rest of our day. But he is so sick. He could use the sleep. So I'm not gonna wake the sleeping baby. All right. Paprika. Maybe I'll do it extra. I'll do a full teaspoon of that. Paprika never hurt anybody. I am Hungarian, so I suppose should always cook with paprika. I'm just gonna do a big old pinch. If I write pinch, this is what I mean. For parsley anyway. And then I always crumble it. I crumble it as it's going into the bowl, you know, because otherwise you get big old chunks. Celery salt. I'm just gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of this. Black pepper. I'll go a full teaspoon. This is a whole roast. And then garlic powder. I am also just going to do a full heaping teaspoon. right, I have you guys sitting on my Instant Pot, which is not normally here, but it's making me some yogurt, so this is very handy. Salt. It's right here, bud. It's making yogurt. Hey, go wash your hands. All right, I don't know if I'm breaking roast rules. My roast is still frozen because that's the life I'm living. And I'm just gonna do salt and pepper. Okay, I'm gonna pour my broth in there. It calls for a cup. I'm just gonna use this pint. I think it's like a cup and a half. Maybe just a scant cup and a half. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, you know what I should have done, guys? I should have put all the liquid in here first and mixed it up. I think I do that usually, but I forgot this morning. The baby is awake now, so I have a grumpy baby on my hips. I better hurry up and get this going. Or before I know it, 2 hours are gonna go by and my roast won't be on. That's how it goes with little kids, isn't it? Okay, that's not so bad. I do normally whisk it all up in the bottom. Then here is my seasoning. I've blended it all up and I'm just gonna right over the top here. And on second thought, I'm gonna add a little more salt because isn't that how all store-bought things are? They're very salty. Okay, so that is going. I do plan to add some carrots and potatoes to the roast, but I'm gonna do that a little bit later. And I'm so glad, oh, I didn't push start, did I? Look at that. I'm gonna push start and then I'm gonna go live this crazy day because all 3 kids hit the ground running. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but this took me so long to learn. If your roast is tough, you didn't do anything wrong, you just need to cook it longer. Just keep cooking it until it falls apart. This was definitely not ready yet. This was actually the first time that I ended up adding vegetables to the pot, and I think I would do it even later in the recipe than I did. I think I would wait until it's falling apart because my potatoes were soft. We served this over rice and we really enjoyed it, although I did think it was a little bit spicy, maybe from the black pepper, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. Okay, the next day I made a chicken parm, and here I'm just getting my cheeses ready. This is Parmesan, and then next up I will be cutting up our mozzarella, which we buy in 5-pound loaves because it's way more affordable that way. Also, if you want to make this, this here is the recipe. I basically made this from the heart, and I don't have measurements for you. So I think chicken parm is a really forgiving recipe. It has a lot of really tasty ingredients, so as long as you use plenty of seasoning, I think the ingredients will meet you halfway. So that's basically what I did today. So now I'm going to get these cheeses in the blender and blend them up. Oh, and this is how we store our 5-pound loaves. After we cut a chunk off, we just cover it with these beeswax cloths, and they're reusable. They've been lasting a really long time. We've only bought 1 pack, maybe 2 years ago, and this is still that pack, and I haven't had to re-seal it or anything, so we really like these. And here's the Parmesan getting blended up, and then the mozzarella goes next. I am very thankful for having a food processor for tasks like this. I usually do way more than I need, and I just store it in a plastic bag. And then here's the Parmesan and the mozzarella, and the extra will just go in our fridge to be used this week. Okay, and then I forgot I don't have panko. I keep saying I'm going to make my own panko, but I've never done it. I don't know what I'm doing, and so I just cut this up and toasted it in the oven and hoped for the best. Okay, now I'm going to get the coating ingredients going. I usually just set up 3 pie plates, and in one of the pie plates, super simple, you just need 2 eggs whisked up. Then the next pie plate, I did about a 1/2 cup of flour. In the next plate, I do a 1/2 cup of flour, and then I think I did like a generous teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and then that just gets whisked up. Now, this is a lot of plates for one recipe, and the way that I keep my sanity is I empty my dishwasher and literally rinse as I go for this recipe. So as soon as these cutlets get, you know, dredged in all of this and then put in the pan, I will start rinsing out my pie plate so it doesn't dry on there and get crusty and gross. Okay, this is either embarrassing or practical, but I just use my fist to pound my chicken. I have plastic wrap on there and it's fine. It works and it gets the job done, and I don't have an extra thing in my kitchen. And here are my cutlets. Okay, and then with these, I just season them with salt and pepper on both sides. And I definitely got whacked by that broom at some point in this journey. My daughter is obsessed with sweeping right now. And here are my breadcrumbs. I just put them in the food processor and blended them up a little bit and added Italian seasoning and Parmesan and stirred all that up. And it actually looked really nice. It kind of smelled like Thanksgiving in here for a little bit. And then you just coat it. You do the flour, and then you put it in some egg, and then you drip the extra egg off so that there's not a ton of egg going into the panko. And then you just put it in your pan. Now, one thing you're going to notice in a minute, these are brand new pans, and we have a pretty new stove in our rental house, and for whatever reason, our pans all tilt. They all tip to the side. So it's super frustrating, but I have oil heating up in the pan and it's tilted to the side, and I have to continuously redistribute this oil. I don't know why. And I asked my husband to record, and he actually got some really cute moments of the kids. These were sweet surprises while I was editing. If you've wondered why I do voiceovers, this is why. But anyway, so I keep the chicken in the pan long enough to brown it on both sides, get it nice and crispy, but don't worry about cooking it to temperature. Just put it in the oven at like 425 or even 400 until it comes to almost temperature, and then top it with your sauce and as much mozzarella as your heart desires, and then put it back in and cook it to temperature. And then what we do is we serve it with pasta. You can either sauce your pasta beforehand or just put your chicken on top and add extra sauce, but we have picky kids that like plain noodles. Hey y'all, it has been a doozy. Let's cook some dinner. The good thing is tonight's dinner is pretty easy. It's mostly just a dump meal, but I do need to gather a few ingredients, and then it's all going to go in one pot. So first I need these red lentils. I am not a big fan of like brown or green lentils, but I really like adding these to curries and soups and chilies. I think they're a really nice addition. I just need 3/4 cup. I don't cook with these that often, or else I would keep a smaller container in my kitchen, but I only use them about once a month, so I don't mind doing this. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm out of corn upstairs. I need some tomato paste. I do have the pucks in my freezer, but I need a whole can tonight, so I'm just going to use a whole can. Can of kidney beans. Can of black beans. Whole peeled tomatoes. And then my lentils. Okay, so I'm making a red lentil chili. It is vegetarian. I used to make this a lot when I didn't eat meat, which I didn't do for a while because of my health. But anyway, it's a vegetarian option. I put stuff like this in our meal plan every once in a while just to save us money because everything is expensive, and this is healthy. It's got a lot of protein. It'll fill you up. So I'll put the recipe down below. Okay, can I have the other one? Part of why I wanted to start this account is to just show people that dinner happens on every kind of night. It happens on your good nights. It happens on your bad nights. It happens on the nights when you have all the energy and creativity in the world, and it happens on the nights that you're tired. And today was not a bad day, but we are tired. I'm a mom of 3 little kids, and of course, that is exhausting some days. It's a blessing, but it can be challenging. And I do have some kind, well-meaning people who often suggest that I just order food these nights or, get takeout or something like that. But honestly, we're in a season where we come to the evening exhausted quite often. And if we gave into that regularly, we would be broke. Fast food is expensive. So we do our best to keep ingredients on hand that make quick, easy, healthy, nutritious meals that don't break the bank. So tonight I am going to stick with it, and I'm going to get dinner on the table. I'm just going to saute my onions in a little bit of avocado oil. We buy both olive and avocado oil in bulk, and I just keep it in little pint jars with the little pour tops next to my stove. And then I'm going to put this garlic puck in. I just posted a short the other day. We made these. We bought 5 pounds of garlic and processed them into pucks. On a night like tonight, they feel like the ultimate convenience food. Okay, and then in go some pre-chopped peppers. I actually was going to use these for a different recipe and I couldn't find the right ingredients for that recipe, so this is a perfect use of them. I just have a little bit of orange and red bell pepper that has been sitting in the freezer waiting to be used up. Okay, and then I'm going to mix in my tomato paste and my seasonings, and y'all, watch what I'm about to do. I could not believe I did this. That is sage, not cumin. I thought it looked funny, but we took it out and it was fine. Okay, and then in goes the broth and the crushed tomatoes. With the crushed tomatoes, I did make sure that all the tomatoes were broken up just a little bit so that there's no big chunks in the soup. And then you bring it to a simmer, and then as soon as it's boiling, you add the red lentils. Around this time, one of my kiddos very fervently expressed that they were not going to eat the chili, and generally speaking, I'm not a short order cook, but I did decide to make some cornbread on the side just so that there was a familiar option for that kid. Okay, and here's the final dinner. Definitely make sure that your lentils are cooked all the way through because that's the biggest downside to this, is sometimes they take a while to cook. Anyway, I hope this helps you get some dinner on the table, and thank you so much for hanging out this week. I have an Azure order coming in soon, and I will definitely share all that. Bye!